Today is Vijay Dasmi, a very auspicious day, a very pure Tithi. Today, Bhagavan Ram has conquered Ravan. It's a very worshipable day for Hindus, this Vijay Dasami, and also Srila Madhvacarya, our Jagat Guru, has appeared today. There are 4 Vaishnavacharyas, Sri Brahma, Rudra, Sanaka. According to the scriptures, these 4 sampradayas are given for the living entities to connect with and then to become liberated. In Kali Yuga, these 4 acharyas have done prachar. Sri Vishnu Swami, Sri Sampradaya is Ramanuja Swami, Brahma Sampradaya, Madhvacarya, Rudra Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami, and Shankari. The Nimbak Acharya, the 4 Kumaras, Nimbak Acharya. In Kali Yuga, these 4 sampradayas are accepted, and according to the sampradaya, Vaishnava Shastras are describing one should take Diksha. Sampradaya Vihinaye mantras Nispalam Falet. Like when one takes mantra from another source, besides these 4 sampradayas, these mantras are without Shakti, they are nisfal, they don't grant any result. Brahma Madhvacaryas, a line we are connected with. In Karnataka, Madhvacarya had taken birth. All our acharyas have taken birth in Dakshin Bharat, South India. So Bhagavan, he appeared in Nadia, like in the east of India, and our acharyas came from the southern direction.
दक्षिण भारत के कर्नाटक प्रदेश प्रसिद्ध है और कर्नाटक में उडुपी.
In Karnataka, there is one place called Udupi. It is close to the Samudra, to the ocean. Here Madhvacarya took birth. Madhvacarya Bhat Ki Jai. Like 800 years ago, approximately, he had appeared. His father, father's name is, I couldn't follow, I couldn't understand what he was saying. So the parents had no child. And then they prayed to Shivji. This Vijay Dasami is performed in whole India.
तो सब अवसर पर ये ब्राह्मण दंपति पहुंचे तो सब के मध्य ही एक व्यक्ति ध्वज स्तंभ पे चढ़ गया. मंदिर के सामने ध्वज स्तंभ होता ही है. दक्षिण भारत की विशिष्ट की सभी मंदिर स्तंभ पे चढ़ गया और
a Garuda Stamba in front of all temples. So it was announced that on that day a Mahapurush will appear. He will preach pure bhakti. It's an avatar of Vayu. So this was heard by many devotees. So Vayu Dev is Hanumanji in Dwarapa, Bhimsen, and Madhvacarya in Kali Yuga. So Madhvacarya was very, very strong, very powerful. So Hanuman, Bhimsen, and also Madhvacarya had the same Shakti, the same power. From childhood on, there were very special transcendental Leela seen. When he was 5-year-old, he could already defeat great scholars. He was already so learned when he was very young. So there are so many Leelas. Once he was 3-year-old. He had to go 3 kilometers from his village to the next temple. So one day then he had disappeared. Mother and father were searching for him. Where is our son gone? They were searching for him everywhere. So then they went searching everywhere and finally entered into the temple. They saw the young boy standing with folded hands in front of Thakurji. The father said, "How you went the whole way alone yourself?" And Madhvacarya then said to his father, "Thakurji has called me." When he was 8, his Upanaya Sanskar was performed. Then he was sent into Gurukul to study. So in ancient India, in all villages there were Gurukuls, and the children were sent to these Gurukuls. They were sent in this parampara of the Gurukul. So as long as this Gurukul parampara is protected, Dharma is protected, Hinduism is protected. But in our days it's seen that this is not happening anymore, like Gurukuls, like this it was ancient time. This is not happening anymore. So he was serving a lot. So we heard that Bhagavan Shri Krishna went to Ujjain to study. And he was living there also in the ashram of Sandipati Muni. And he learned how to control senses, how to sleep less, eat reduced. So Pandit or person who wants to study the scriptures has to eat. Alpahari means like you should not fill the belly up to the top, but should eat controlled. So one cannot study if one is overeating always. So then griha tyag, one should give up the house, and one should be very focused. One should always, when one is hearing something, one should remember it again. One should get up in the Brahma Muhurta, take a bath. This is a very auspicious time to get up early in the morning for study for spiritual life. It's seen today that sometimes even great Pandits, it's seen who are speaking Bhagavad Gita, they sleep until 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So but if one wants to really study scriptures nicely and perform spiritual life, one should get up very early. It cannot become auspicious. The day can't become auspicious when you don't get up early. When one wants to do sadhana, dhyan, one has to get up in this Mangal Arati time. So Vidya Dhan, like studying, is a kind of sadhana. So much to remember always what one has heard, like chew it again and contemplate about it. Then one should control also the sleep, he's saying. So in the Gurukul one is learning all these things, how to become qualified, perform one's study nicely, learn a lot, absorb a lot, become a Pandit, a devotee. With 6 years, he had already so much knowledge, and when he was 12, he was a great Pandit. So he had studied all was needed to study. So then he left the Gurukul. So then they were asking what he would want to become. And then when he was asked what he wants to do with his life, he said, I want to do Dham Prachar. He was saying, I want to establish Dharma. There's so much confusion in our days, so much Kali worship is going on, animal sacrifice. I want to preach Vishuddha Dharma. I want to remove all this meat eating. I want to remove Kali worship. I want to remove those like who are saying alcohol can be drunken. I want to make rules that one should live purely. So the father was very attached to his son. Madhvacarya then said, I have taken birth because I want to preach Dharma. This is the reason why I have taken birth, so you have to give me free and let me do whatever Bhagavan wants me to do.
तो मैं कहता हूँ एक छोटा भाई मेरा आएगा माँ की गोद में, अच्छा आएगा? तो कहता है हाँ, छोटा भाई जन्म लेगा तो हमें जाने देंगे ना?
So Madhvacarya then said to his father, if my mother will get another child, like if I get a little brother, then you will give me free. Then the father said, okay, we will see when my mother, like when my wife gets pregnant again, then you do whatever Bhagavan wants you to do. And it happened like this, that Madhvacarya got a brother and like the mother became pregnant again, and then the father was peaceful and satisfied. So there was a dry tree and no water in a pond. So Madhvacarya then said, I will, to the parents, he said to the parents, tomorrow this dry tree will blossom with green leaves and the pond will be filled with crystal clear water. I will tell like this, if this is happening, my pracha will become successful. So, and this happened the next day. The tree was green and the pond was filled with water. Ananda Tirtha then became his name. Baladevi Bhushan Babu is glorifying him in Ratnavali. Ananda Tirtha is the name of Madhvacarya.
आनंद के नाम क्या है? आनंद सुखमय नाम, सुख स्वरूप है, परमानंद। जैसा नाम वैसा ही गुण है।
Ananda Tirtha was his name, and Madhvacarya was also always absorbed in great Ananda, in great bliss.
जिनको यहाँ के विद्वान जन क्या कहते हैं, संसार सागर पार करने के क्या जहाज।
Madhvacarya is called a jahaj, like it means an airplane to cross this ocean of material existence. To cross the ocean of material existence. Madhvacarya is for us an airplane. We sit in this airplane, like we absorb his teachings, we connect with him, and he can bring us out. When he was 12, he took sannyas, Purna Prakya, and became his name, and later Ananda Tirtha. Then he started to travel around to all the holy places. South India, then he went to North India, and then went to Badrinath. Brahma Madhvacarya. This place is Badrinath. And he wrote the Vasa on Brahma Sutra. He already had written sutras on Gita, and he had offered it to Badrinathji, Suti Smriti, and Brahma Sutra. And these three vasas or commentaries are needed to establish a sampradaya. All acharyas have written these vasas as commentaries. Mayavad at that time was spread a lot. So many were Mayavadis at the time, the followers of Sankaracharya. Even the guru of Madhvacarya was also an impersonalist, he's saying, but he was convinced also about the personal aspect of Bhagavan through Madhvacarya. So where Vyasadeva was performing tapasya, Badrinath, and where he was writing Bhagavata, he wrote Brahma Sutra.
दुर्गम स्थल पे ये शास्त्र वहां जाकर गुफा में तपस्या करते हैं.
So he was performing tapasya. He was sitting many days on one asana, and then he was praying for darshan of Bhagavan Vedavyas, and he appeared then in front of him.
श्री कृष्ण ब्रह्मदेव ऋषि बादरायण संहिता, ये परंपरा श्री कृष्ण
Brahma Devarishi Vedavyasi and Madhvacarya. So this is this line, this parampara coming down. So by the mercy of Vyasadeva, he attained the power to write Brahma Sutra. Vedavyasa gave him Ashirvad, empowered him. So Tattvam Asi.
उसके तुम हो, कितना अंतर हो गया? तुम वो हो और तुम उनके हो.
You are his, like you are a part of Bhagavan. Not you are Bhagavan, like he was writing the real explanation. Jeev and Brahma are always different from each other. Sankaracharya has described it in a different way. We see Madhvacarya with two fingers lifted up, like in the sky, showing up. These two fingers, Jeev and Ishvara, are different from each other. They are always different from each other. This is the Siddhanta. Jeev can never become Ishvara. Ishvara cannot become Jeev. The rays of the sun can never become Bhagavan, Narayan, Surya Narayan. They are one Vastu still, but they are different. Because they are parts and particles of the sun rays. So he did prachar everywhere. He went to Kashi. He defeated great scholars, and many surrendered to him, became his disciples. In North India, he traveled around a lot, made thousands of disciples, established mats. Gita Vasa, Brahma Vasya, Upanishad Vasya, Tattva Lakshan, Sri Krishna Stotra, Krishnamrit, and so on. So many scriptures he had written. Krishna Stuti. So he has established 8 mats. Parimar, Radhamar, Utike, Shirum, Sodev. So he has established 8 mats. So he was speaking all with Sanskrit, Madhvacharya.
उससे पहले भी आए, इसके बाद भी आए। उस समय आए थे वहां मध्वाचार्य की प्रतिमा स्थापन करने के लिए, प्रतिमा स्थापन करने के लिए। तो मध्वाचार्य के मत है जो 9 प्रमेय है, 9 प्रमेय का मान हमारे यहाँ भी हुआ है, बल्कि विद्यावर्षण में जिन्हें भी मध्वाचार्य के मत का समर्थन किया, अपने ग्रंथों में भी वही मत बताई लिखा। किसी मन मत मते हरि पर दमा शुद्धम जगत वेदो जीव गणा हरेरनुचरा नीचोच्च भावं तथा मुक्ति नैज सुखानुभूति रमला भक्ति सतत साधन प्रत्यक्षादितयं प्रमाणमखिलां नायैक विद्यो हरि। इस मत को ही हमारे आचार्य ने ग्रहण किया और हरिराम व्यास जी जो किशोर वन के
Hariram Vyas ji was living in Kishore.
भले ही लोग कह रहे हरिवंश जी के शिष्य नहीं, उनसे पूछिए।
It's described that he was also a Gaudiya Vaishnava, and he was writing Navaratna Grantha.
उन्होंने परंपरा लिखी, तो आपके कौन है? आप जो लिखेंगे वही तो प्रमाणित होगा। हरिराम व्यास जी ने लिखे उनके प्रमेय नवरत्न ग्रंथ में।
So he has written there that he is in the Madhvacarya Parampara.
तो व्यासवंशी सभी मानते हैं कि हम लोग यही है, मत है, मत बोलते हैं।
So many say that he was a disciple of Harivanshi, but he himself wrote that he is connected with the Gaudiya line. Hariram Vyas ji.
सभी शब्द सिद्धांत के कर्तम की स्थापना करते हो, परम कौन है, सुरेश्वर कौन है? तो कहा हरि, हरि ही परम है, ब्रह्मा रुद्र आदि।
So he, Madhvacharya wrote also these 9 prameya, 1 praman and 9 prameya, this dasamul tattva. Sankaracharya was saying this material world is an illusion, but Madhvacharya said, no, it is true. It is temporary, but it is existing, it is real, and it becomes created again and again after destruction. Brahma Satyam Jagat Satyam.
ब्रह्म को सत्य बताया, ये जगत को सत्य, ब्रह्म सत्यम जगत सत्यम। और
So Brahma Satyam Jagat Satyam.
प्रजापति ब्रह्मा है,
Brahma is Satyam. And everything in existence is also truthful. This world is existing, is truthful, it's true. So he has established this fact, Jagat is Satya. If everything would be Mithya, yet not existing, everything would be an illusion. So how could one perform one's bhajan, one's sadhana? This verse, Aham Brahmasmi, what Sankaracharya always was propagating, was fully defeated. By Madhvacharya, we are here in this material world to attain Bhagavan, to perform our sadhana bhajan, to understand our real position as eternal servant.
तो जीव हमारे गोस्वामी की या बलदेव दार्शनिक बात सभी ने माना। बलदेव दार्शनिक बात तो 5 सत्य माना। जीव सत्य।
Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu was saying Jeev is true, Brahma, Jagat, Karma and Kal are also Satya. Karma is Satya because what we do now, we will have to continue in our next birth. Like the seed of our activities is existing. It's creating new karma. According to the karma, the jeev is thrown in different species of life. So karma is in this way Satya. And Kal is also Satya. Jeev, Brahma, Kal, Jagat, everything is Satya. जीव भेद जना, जीव तो सत्य ही और जीव में भेद भी माना है। मतलब जीव भेद कई प्रकार की, जीव जल भेद। There are differences between jeev and jar, like jeev and matter. जीव में भी पशु आदि का भेद, कई भेद माना। जीव ब्रह्म में भेद, जीव जगत में भेद, जीव जल में भेद, जल में भेद, जीव में भेद। The difference between matter and matter. घास है या और कोई लता है, वृक्ष है, और एक है तुलसी, समान हो जाएगा क्या? पीपल समान नहीं होगा। तो जल में भेद माना, जीव भेद। There are differences between different jivas. A Chandala, for example, and the Brahmana are different from each other. And difference between Jeev and Jar, between Jeev and Ishvara, between Jagat and Jeev. Anyhow, these different 5 kinds of differences he is describing. Who is the Jeev? He is the Anuja of Hari, Jiva Swarup, or Krishna, Nityadas. This is a Mool Siddhanta. So what is Mukti? To realize one's great bliss. We are Krishna Das. What is this for happiness to understand? We are servants of Hari. So this is the real Mukti. It is not the Mukti Zankaracharya is describing, like merging into the impersonal aspect. Here Mukti means like understanding one's real position and experiencing the happiness of Seva. What is the Nitya Sukh of the Jeev? Seva. Seva Sukh is really Mukti. What is the way to attain these 4 kinds of Mukti? Through Bhakti, Amala Bhakti. Through Uttama Bhakti, like Rupa Goswami is saying. Kamala Bhakti or Amala Bhakti, Nirmal pure Bhakti is a sadhana. और फिर प्रत्यक्षादित्रतयम प्रमाणम 8वां हुआ। प्रमाण क्या है? What is the praman? सिद्धांत निरूपण करेंगे, इसका प्रमाण क्या देंगे? प्रत्यक्ष, अनुमान, शब्द, 3 प्रमाण। 3 pramans, pratyaksh और ऐतिह्य प्रमाण दिया जाता है। रामाने जी गोस्वामी जी ने 3 प्रमाण। Jiva Goswami also was accepting pratyaksh, anuman, like experiencing something with the senses. When we see fog, we conclude there is fire. When rain clouds are coming, rain will definitely fall very quickly. So what we see, pratyaksh, with our senses. And Shabda Brahman, what the Shrutis, the scriptures are saying. Shabda Brahman is the topmost Brahman. Pratyaksha Brahman can be wrong because senses are imperfect. भगवान कृष्ण के निकट वसुदेव को ले आता है, देख तेरे पिता को मैं मार रहा हूँ, वो मिथ्या है, प्रत्यक्ष मिथ्या है। को ले आते सीता जी का वध कर लेते हैं, Hanuman can have some mistakes. And Hanuman means concluding. We see, for example, some rain clouds and then rain will fall, but it can be wrong. The clouds can disappear. So Hanuman means concluding something, can also be full of mistakes or can be wrong. So Shastra Praman is the topmost evidence. Shruti is called Mata, the mother. Smriti, Shruti. Shruti is our mother. We are the children of this mother. So we accept the words of the mother. Only the mother knows who is my son. Like the mother is all knowing. The Shrutis are saying this is Bhagavan, and we have to accept it. Shruti is saying you are Das of Bhagavan. So Shruti Brahman, Sapta Brahman is topmost Brahman, topmost evidence. Madhvacarya established it very clearly. Our lakshan, what is our goal, what do we want? To know Hari, to attain Hari. This is the goal of all scriptures described in all scriptures, that is the desired goal of the jiva. This should be the goal of the jiva, to know Hari, to serve Him, to meet Him, So all scriptures are glorifying Hari. Hari is the Vastu which should be known, understood, and to whom this jiva should attain service to one day. Like service to Hari should be the goal which the jiva will attain one day.
उसमें है कि एक बार तो गोवा चले गए थे, गोवा में उनको प्रसाद दिया.
He went once to Goa.
कई सहस्त्र केला और 80 घड़े दूध, सब दूध पी गए, गिरा पाकर.
So Madhvacarya was accepting there in Goa, Asikana, I think 80 liters milk and many kilos of bananas. So he took everything. Everybody was astonished how much he could take. So everybody was defeated by him. Great scholars came, and Madhvacarya was so learned that he defeated all.
उसमें बलि की पता है तो क्या करेंगे, बलि को उपहार देना, अपने अहंकार की बलि देना, बलि कहता है उपहार.
He, Madhvacarya, was saying Bali, like sacrifice means to offer one's ahankar in this yakya of bhajan. So he was stopping this Pashu Yakya, like the animal sacrifices. He was defeating all with his knowledge. He was saying animal sacrifices not allowed. We have to sacrifice like our false ego, our ahankar. And he was defeating all, and everybody, those who were favoring these animal yakyas and Kali worship, were very angry with him. So many were thinking how we can eliminate Madhvacarya. So they also tried really to kill him. They wanted to kill Madhvacarya, literally. So they took they asked two very huge wrestlers, very powerful personalities. They approached Madhvacarya and told him, we heard about your learning, about your commentaries on the scriptures. Now we also heard that you're very powerful, very strong. We want to wrestle with you. We heard that you are very powerful, so please show how strong you are. So Madhvacarya said, first show how strong you are. So both of them then went and they picked up a pillar which was lying there, huge pillar, and brought this pillar in front of Madhvacarya. Madhvacarya said, that is nice what you did.
पहले एक ने क्रैश किया, फिर दूसरे ने किया. पहले आया, उसने बाएं हाथ से क्रैश किया. क्या मारना कोई हमारे लिए कोई बड़ा काम नहीं है.
And then Madhvacarya accepted to wrestle with them. Madhvacarya said, when you are able to stop me from chanting the holy name, then you have defeated me. So one wrestler came and strangled Madhvacarya, but Madhvacarya was continuously chanting Padmadamaya Namaha, Vasudevaya Namaha. So these wrestlers, they were sweating, and the other wrestler also tried it with both hands. They both tried to strangle him. So then both of them tried to strangle him, like with 4 hands they tried to strangle him. But Madhvacarya was continuously chanting Shri Keshavanaya Namaha, Gopalaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. So both were defeated. They fell down at the lotus feet of Madhvacarya and said, Guruji, your strength is transcendental. We didn't know that you are so strong. These pandits, these learned scholars who are defeated by you have asked us to harm you, like to kill you. So please forgive us and we want to become your disciples. So that was the power of Madhvacarya. When he was 80, he had established mats, accepted many disciples, performed many pastimes. Then there was one incident. Madhvacarya was always going to the ocean. He was going there to the ocean and performing his bhajan. His mats are also not far away from the ocean in Udupi. So every day he went to the ocean and performed dhyan, meditation and japas. So then there was a boat and the storm came. And there were many people on the boat. And the storm was about to drown this boat. So then people saw from far away Madhvacarya standing at the shore of the ocean. And they thought, there is a sannyasi who will let us pray to him. Madhvacarya heard the prayers. And he took Madhvacarya then, took his shada, was fanning a little bit with his shada, because his Vayudev, his Vayu, the wind god. So he stopped the storm and the ocean became peaceful. So all came to the shore, paid their Dandavat Pranam to Madhvacarya. The ship or the boat was filled with very precious items. like gold and silver plates. Madhvacarya said, I don't want all this wealth. I know that there is some Gopi Chandan inside of the boat, like there's a big piece of Gopi Chandan. So in the midst of, like deep inside of the boat, I want this Gopi Chandan. So they took this Gopi Chandan out. It was a very huge piece of Gopi Chandan. 8 people were needed to take it out of the boat and bring it to the shore. And they gave it to Madhvacarya. So Madhvacarya, although 8 people were needed to bring it out of the boat, Madhvacarya took it up with his right hand immediately and brought it to the temple. So the temples are very beautiful. In South India they have beautiful gardens and a little pond in front of the temple. He brought it to the pond in front of the temple. The Gopi Chandan was dissolved, the water dissolved the Gopi Chandan, and a beautiful murti was seen within, like the Chandan. So Madhvacarya took out this beautiful murti from within which had stuck like in the Chandan. Krishna is a beautiful Bal, a beautiful young boy. Then was established by Madhvacarya. So one mat is called Shri Krishna mat. This is the original mat. There this Gopalji is worshipped. So he is churning, he has a churning stick in his hand, and it is a very beautiful Raj mood. Padmanabhaji became the Mool Acharya, Nihari and other Acharyas got different positions. Madhavendra Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are connected with the Brahma Madhva Sampradaya. Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. This is the whole name of this, our Sampradaya. Some even say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is different from Madhvacarya. So the Acharyas for us are the 6 Goswamis. Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. This is our whole. This is the name of our Sampradaya. So this is in short the life history of Madhvacarya. The Tirobhav Tithi today also is of Rupka Vishwa Goswami Maharaj, Mukunda Goswami's disciple. So in Vinod Bhava from Vashana was glorifying Rupka Vishwa just recently very nicely in his Katha. Said that Rupa Goswami has come again at Rupka Vishwa. Rup Kaviraj is the disciple of Hemalata Thakurani. There is no sambandha. Some are confused that they are the same. but they're different. Madhvacarya Goswami is the disciple of Mukunda Goswami, and he had performed so much service to Mukunda Goswami. As Rupa Goswami, I couldn't perform service to Guru, therefore he was somehow not happy. His mind was not fully satisfied. In Rup Charitamrit Grantha, written 300 years ago, it says, to attain service to Guru, to perform service to Guru, Madhvacarya has come. So he was then serving Mukunda Goswami. He was getting up much earlier than his Gurudev was getting up. He was massaging the lotus feet of his Gurudev. The Gurudev was elderly then, and he was bringing him to the bathroom. He was bathing him. He was helping to serve in the service of Radha Nayanananda too. Then he went out to go for bhiksha, so he collected some atta, some roti atta. He offered this bhog to Thakurji. So he performed so much seva, and he himself even went for Madhukuri, like for bhiksha. So he wanted to do everything himself. And 3 times he performed like pranam to his Guru. In the morning, 108 times he performed sastang dandavat pranam to his Gurudev. 108 times he fell flat in front of Gurudev. Performed 7 times parikrama around Gurudev. Until Gurudev was alive, he was satisfying him very much for his one-pointed service. So he was serving his Guru very, very love and affection. He has taken Mahadev Pandit was the father's name, Bimala Devi the mother's name. They both had a dream in which they got the message that Mahabhagavat Vaishnava will take birth in their family. On Kartika Purnima, he took birth like a Purna Chandama, like a full moon he was rising. He was not an ordinary boy. So with 12 years, he renounced everything. He left his house. With 16, he was able to, he had completed all his studies of all the scriptures, Sanskrit and so on. The Guru of his father, like he had taken shelter of the Guru of his father. And then he finally met Mukunda Goswami, took Diksha from him. Ras, Alanka and Siddhanta he was studying under him. 50 around 45 years he was staying in Vraj. So when his Guru's day had left, he went to Gauda Desh.
वो कलकत्ता यूनिवर्सिटी से छपा, कलकत्ता विश्वविद्यालय से छपा था। आपने नाम सुना वो है श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी। उनके पिता आशुतोष मुखर्जी ने छपाया था। आशुतोष मुखर्जी को पहले बंगाल का बाल उन्होंने छपाया था। बड़ी अद्भुत ग्रंथ है। इतना
So he had written scriptures
संस्कृत इतना कठिन कि हम समझ नहीं पाते
in very difficult Sanskrit, so they are not translated even until today.
विश्वविद्यालय की लाइब्रेरी से हमें वो ग्रंथ मिल गया।
Sangraha is it called? One scripture is called. And the Raganuga. Another scripture. And Haridas Shastri has translated it. Patyavali Ketika, commentaries on Patyavali he had written. So these three special scriptures were written by him. So in our Patrika we sometimes give quotations from this Sangraha. Very high class Sanskrit he has written.
कोई गलती नहीं होता है, वो अनुवाद करना सबसे बड़ा कठिन है।
So sometimes we translate his classes or his scriptures. Some articles of him we are posting sometimes. But to translate his Sanskrit is very difficult. So Kavishwa Goswami was a great Vidwan, a great Pandit. So he was called once to Jaipur. And he was establishing that Parakya is superior than Svakya with many praman, with the evidences from the scriptures. He has given his explanations. He said, this is not material Parakya. In this material world, Parakya, like Paramur, love, is something rejectable. But rather in Krishna, are connected through Parakya Bhav to to increase the rasa. So he gave many evidences. All became very pleased. The king there from Jaipur said we have to give him a special title because he's so learned. Surma.
उसमें शान लगाया जाता है, शहर में निकलता है शान की वाला तालबश्या। तो सूरमा यानी तुम वास्तव में
you, the king said, you are the surma of Braja Rasa, like the Raganuga Acharya of this Bhakti Rasa.
विद्या में वीर है, तरह तरह के वीर बना हुआ है। आप कभी समझ में देखो तो ये है विद्या में, पांडित में, भक्ति में वीर। ऐसे रूपेश्वर गोस्वामी
was so powerful. Finally he went to Bengal and did prachar.
ये श्यामानंद प्रभु के पोते नैनानंद कृष्णानंद गोस्वामी के पोता है नाम। So
Nainananda Goswami wanted to have his association, and he was telling him, you speak about the scriptures of Rupa Goswami, and he was giving katha on Rupa Goswami's scriptures. He went to Gopi Vallabhpur, where he was worshipped a lot, and he was staying there for the rest of his life. Once he went to Jagannath Puri.
तो उनके समय में फिर उन्होंने अंतर्धान किया। मात्र 60 वर्ष की अवस्था में आज की तिथि दी जाए। नवमी के दिन रात्रि में भक्तों से कहा,
so he said then,
उनके मुख्य शिष्य
at the day of his departure, he said to his disciples, he was sitting amongst his disciples, he was saying to them, to this night you perform kirtan, the whole night. So he was not eating on that day when he left, and then in the night he entered into Nitya Leela. He said to his disciples, I will go to Vrindavan. So the point here is saying he was leaving, like in his body at the time of kirtan. And here it says the disciples saw that he disappeared and they didn't find his body. Rasikananda also, his body was not found. I think Mirabai's body was also not found, and also his body was not found. So he left and his body was not found anymore. So all started to cry. Then the disciples had a dream at night and said, I went to Vrindavan. So the pujari there then said, exactly at that night when Rupka Vishwa had left his body in the association of his disciples, at that night he was seen by the pujari here in Somakunj. He said, a sadhu was coming here with white cloth, and he had performed, he was sitting here and was performing his bhajan. So this Somakunj is a very special place. So Rupka Vishwa had performed lots of Guru Seva. He has wrote many scriptures and did also very wonderful prachar of this Rasik Vaishnava, of these Rasik literatures. Dandavat Pranam at the lotus feet of Rupka Vishwa Goswami. Tomorrow we continue with